Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. All right, our last trade, the first one of 2024, closed on January 2nd. That did not take long for it to finish up, but we had a nice long run. As you may have remembered, from the end of the year till that close was actually a little bit of a drawdown, and we did report a negative return to start us off, but generally you can see the last trade was pretty good. So once we take an exit, what Adam is always looking to do is have the price fall and for us to make an entry. And as you can see, the following day, the price did fall. And here's the good news about this. So we definitely take a loss in this range for sure. But once we're out of the market, we don't see this loss, even though the S&P still continues to fall. So no matter what happens from here, we're going to call this a good trade because we're avoiding some losses. So Adam's going to decide to take this trade. You can watch that happen live. You can see our order going in, and trade 2 is on. All right, that did not take too long. As you might recall, our entry is right in here. 3 days later, things sort of turned out in our favor. The market definitely took a drop the first day, but worked its way back up the second, and into the third day had a fantastic day and quite a gain in the market. So Adam's going to go ahead and decide to take the exit. In fact, we already have. Just as a bit of a reminder on how to read these charts, you can see a couple of things. You can see a little blue arrow showing an indication of that we are going long. You can see our price that we picked up. There's also a very difficult to see blue dot there. And our exits are shown by these white marks and what kinds of orders and how many shares we're dealing with. The other nice thing about this charting tool is it actually shows you the direction of your profit or loss. And so you can see those profits are marked from entry to exit on this chart. So we are officially done with trade number 2. Let's head over to our tracking sheet and see how we're doing. All right, trade number 2 is over. It completed on the 8th of January. Yahoo reported the price of SPY at 474.6. So that's up 0.4% from our last value. It brings the total year-to-date loss improved it a little bit up to a negative 0.15%. So basically flat. However, on our trade, we picked up 2.34%. So we actually got into the positive territory at, we are now 1.22% positive for the year. You can see on our charts that we are definitely leading the S&P by a pretty significant amount, but it's such small numbers that doesn't matter too much. But our win trades are kind of starting to show up now with the number of trades going up a little bit. We won one, lost one, so we're at 50-50. We are expecting to see something like a 70% win rate, which we approximately saw last year and the year before and the year before that. And our profit factor is a little over 2. We like to see that over 1.5. You know, one interesting thing to note about this profit factor from a trading perspective is that if it gets a little bit high, that's an indication of possibly taking on too much risk or even possibly overfitting strategies to charts. So we like to see that right around 2. I think that's about where we ended up last year. On our 4-year view of our trading, so back in 2021, we've actually started trading several years before this, but we're just tracking the last 3 and 4. And I particularly wanted to include a down year like 2022, where market was down significantly, and we were still holding our own. But 2024 is off to a start. You can see these numbers barely show up against the other years, but we are 1.22 positive for 2024, and we will take it. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.